Hello and happy Monday. If you're watching, please comment so I know who's here. You also might win a card I make today for commenting throughout this live video. I'm not seeing any comments come up, so hopefully people are out there watching. I'll give it another minute or so. I've got a very fun bunch of cards to make with you today. Oh, there's somebody. Hi, Kathy Jordan. Thanks for being here. We're just going to wait another 30 seconds and see if more people jump on. Hi, Vicki. Nice to have you. Hi, Sue. While we're waiting for a few more people to jump on, hey, Naomi from Avon Park, Florida. Nice to have you. Hi, Sharon. Good afternoon. Thank you for accommodating me with my time change today. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and we've had some snowy weather in Ohio, but I felt like I was rushing, and that kind of stresses me out. So I decided better to just push it back to this afternoon. So I thank you for joining me at 2 o'clock today instead of 11 a.m. Today, I got 3 cards to show you, and each one of the cards is very different. And they all show you unique ways to show off both sides of a piece of designer series paper. Many of you know that designer series paper is probably most likely my favorite Stampin' Up! Product. Typically, when I start designing something, I'm often choosing a designer series paper and then build my project or my card with inspiration from that designer series paper and colors. And sometimes I get in a little pickle because I'm not sure which side of the paper I like more. And sometimes I just want to be able to show off all sides of the designer series paper. So that's what I'm showing you today. I'll point out a couple of things. I will be using the Very Delightful Designer Series paper from the Sale-a-bration brochure. It is sort of a double bonus prize because with a $100 order, you get the Berry Blessing stamp set as well as the coordinating Very Delightful Designer Series paper. So I think it's a fabulous bundle, and I love that we're able to get this free with our $100 purchase. And I also love that bundle because it coordinates so nicely with the Sweet Strawberry bundle. That includes the stamp set of the same name as well as the Strawberry Builder Punch. Love my punches. They just make creating fun and easy, and adding punched items to our cards and paper crafts, especially when we pop them up with Stampin' Dimensionals, really creates a whole new level of card making for us. So I should show you just to give you an idea. And you may have seen some of these before. Here are some cards I made with the Very Delightful Designer Series paper, birthday cards. And you can see I used that Strawberry Builder Punch there too. I've used it, the Builder Punch, 3 times. And then these are some cards I made in a previous Facebook Live with you, where I was showing you how to cut your designer series paper into 3" by 4" pieces. And then I showed you a wide variety of layouts, card layouts, to make with those 3 by 4" pieces. And on this one in particular, I showed how to use both sides of that paper. So that's why I pulled that one out to do a quick show for you. But if you missed that, you can find that video and those cards on my blog, www.stampinpeace.com. All right, let me flip my camera around and we'll get started with today's card making demonstrations. But as you can see, I've pulled out the products that I've told you about, the Sweet Strawberry Bundle from the mini catalog, as well as the Berry Blessing stamp set and that wonderful designer series paper from the Sale-a-bration set. And I thought I would just show you this so you get a good idea of everything that's in that paper pack. So this is the front side, and the reverse has that beautiful green plaids. Lots of strawberries and a check pattern, blueberries. That's a fun plaid, isn't it? Some raspberries. You can see too on these that the images and patterns are watercolored, which makes them even more interesting. I love that strawberry print. This reminds me of a cookie jar, a strawberry cookie jar we gave to my Grandma Bayless when we were little kids, and some red raspberries with the leaves on the back. Okay. So my first card, I'm going to show you this. I had a card base, typical size, 5.5 by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. I cut off, I have to think about this a second, 4 1/4. I cut off at 5 1/4 inches. So I have this piece left over, and I'll save that to use on another card. So this is actually my card base now, 5.5 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we've got just a 1-inch strip between the fold and the edge. And that little flap, find my bold folder, that little flap is going to be on the front side of your card. Hi, Bonnie and Mary Jo. Hi, Dana, Sharon. Oh, so nice to have all of you. So I've cut a piece of designer series paper that measures 5.5 inches by 3 3/4. Okay, let me double check that. Yes, 5.5 by 3 3/4. Now to adhere this, I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. And I'm going to run just a very narrow bead of glue at the top of that designer series paper. And on the inside edge of that cardstock flap, I'm going to add another bead of glue. Now I'm not adhering this to the inside of my card. This will become the front of the card, okay? I'm going to line up the left and right edges and this long side. Put that down, and then I'll just fold that flap over with the glue. And now, when somebody opens the card, they'll be able to appreciate both sides of that designer series paper. Bonnie, thank you so much for sharing. I truly appreciate that. Welcome, Marion. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Sharon. I do have a piece of 5 1/4 inch by 4 inch whisper white, or basic white now, right? We have basic white now. And I'll add that to the inside of my card. So here's just a really quick, simple way to show off both sides of your designer series paper. In the front of your card, it actually kind of looks like a book binding to me. So that's sort of a different twist on our traditional cards that we make. I'll just tie ribbon around. I'll slide that knot down just a little bit. And trim the ends at an angle. So I have this. Now I do think we should add some rich raspberry ink. And I think for this, oh, I know which one I wanted to use. I want to stamp the thank you on this. And I just happen to have a couple of extra strips I was using for a project yesterday. You see, that's not quite long enough. I'll use this one. Now, because this is a photopolymer stamp set, I would ordinarily be stamping on top of my Stampin' Pierce mat, but I did get a new mat for my craft desk, and it has just that little bit of cush that I need when I'm using the photopolymer stamp, so I don't need to put that on with this mat. But if you have a truly hard surface and you're using the photopolymer stamps, you do want to use that Stampin' Pierce mat because you'll just get a better stamped image. And I'm going to simply attach this with a couple of dimensionals. And there's a super quick, fun card, easy peasy. And my favorite part about this card, it shows off both sides of the designer series paper with this clever little 1-inch flap here, cardstock flap. Alrighty, so there's one way of showing off both sides of a designer series paper. Let's move on to another. This time I'm using the, I'll put this where I think you can see it, Pacific Point cardstock. And my card base is the same, 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it at 4 1/4 and folded on the score line. I have a piece of Whisper White for the inside. Oh, Basic White. I keep saying that. As soon as it comes out of my mouth, I remember. No, it's Basic White now. 5 1/4 by 4 inches for the inside. Everything standard size so far. Now I have a piece of designer series paper measuring 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And what I want to do here is halfway up, and I can even make a little, I'll make a little pencil mark on here to show you. So halfway from the top and bottom, I want to mark that spot. So 5 1/4, half of that would be, half of 5 is 2.5, and half of a quarter would be 1/8, so 2 5/8. So let me turn and mark this 2 5/8. Does that look right? 2 5/8. From there. I have to compare it over here. Make sure I'm right. Yes. And then I'm going to, basically, I want to know about where the 2-inch mark is going this direction. Okay. So what I'm going to do is set that here. And at 2 5/8, and that's about 2 inches. So now where I put that first pencil mark halfway, I'm going to put that pencil mark so it's right in the cutting line. And I'm going to cut from this edge to my 2-inch mark, that center mark. Perfect. And use a pencil, just make a light mark and you can erase that. And then what I want to do is just fold these flaps out. So I'm going to go all the way to that 2-inch, fold it flat, and I'll do the same thing with the bottom flap. So you get a nice straight line. And here's my bone folder. We want to make nice creases there. And this will be my card front. So now I'm showing off both sides of the DSP. And I'm going to put my sentiment right in here. I happen to have 2 sentiments from a previous project. We'll see how those look. That one's a little big, I think. I think that would work. Might want to cut off the edge a little bit. I think I'll use this one because I like the contrast of the solid, the plaid, and the blueberry print. But I am going to cut this one down a little bit. But, you know, you could stamp and punch a circle. I think that would be awesome right there. Any way you like. Now, you can choose to fasten these corners down or just leave them be. I kind of like them just sticking up a little bit. It just adds more dimension to the card, I think. So I'm going to leave mine. But if you have a strong preference and want to adhere those flaps down, you can certainly do that. And I think I might just add a cute bow right there. And I've pulled out this white ribbon with the silver metallic edge. Thanks for all of you for joining me today. I hope watching this Facebook Live is a bright spot in your Monday. It never hurts to take a break from our work and what we're doing and life's other tasks to do a little something we enjoy. And if you're watching this on replay later, thank you. Whether you join live or watch the replay, I appreciate you all equally. It means so much to me. You all know that this is that ribbon that, well, any ribbon, but this one especially. If you want a custom color of ribbon, a ribbon that perhaps we don't sell in a particular color, all you have to do is take a plain ribbon like this and color it with your Stampin' Blends marker, any color at all that we have with Stampin' Blends. Getting these little frayed edges here. There we go. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Melinda. So I had a fun weekend here. I had 2 women here, Christine and Dottie, for my open craft days. So that's always fun to have, to share my Stampin' Piece studio with other crafters. They were making cards and doing all kinds of fun projects. Now I have this strip of designer series paper. This was actually part of the original piece of designer series paper I had. I first cut it 4 inches by 6 inches and then cut off that 3/4 inch And that gave me the 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece for the front. So this is left over, and you can, I think I'll just add it in here to dress up the card. Any preference? What do you think? The blueberry side or the plaid side? Anybody have a strong preference for that? Strawberry side or blueberry side? No. Blueberry side or plaid side? That's what I want to say. Blueberry or plaid. Oh, it's a mouthful. Hi, Debbie. I'm glad you love the cards. Jeannie. Oh, I know, Jeannie, you've been trying to rest up. You've been dealing with COVID, so, gosh, I don't even know what to think. Okay, we're split. We're split there. One says berry and one says plaid, and I'll just go with the berry side for no reason other than it was looking up at me. But that's just a fun way, and you can even use your scraps to dress up the inside of your cards like that. Sometimes I'll even take a strip like this and just put it across the flap of my envelope, or a strip along the front. Just be sure it's adhered well and it still goes through the mail nicely. So there's a second card showing you how you can showcase both sides of our beautiful designer series paper. So how about one more? I've got a card base that is made from Poppy Parade. Again, I'm going to put the Whisper White, Basic White, oh my gosh, 3 times in a row. Basic White in on the inside of my card. Remember, if you want to stamp on the inside, I suggest that you stamp first and then adhere to the inside. Now, and so this is both sides of this fun strawberry designer series paper. I'm going to punch out the postage stamp shape 4 times, okay? Punch it 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this paper is just the right size. 4. Again, that's the postage stamp punch. Lots of fun with that one. So what I'm going to do is this, but I don't want these sitting on the white because, or on the Poppy Parade. I want to put that on white. So I'm just going to do a simple measurement here to see, just kind of lay these out. And I do this all the time. Sometimes we don't know what size we're going to be cutting until we're ready to do it. But I just lay it out, and I'm gonna lay my grid over this. So I'm thinking I will cut this 3 1/4 by, I think 4 1/2. 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, okay? My 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Now, I also think it would be nice to mat that white onto a piece of Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to make this just a little bit larger. What did I say? 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. I'm going 3 1/2. By 4 3/4. I just think the more layers you have, the more interest it adds to your project. And my snail just ran out, so I'll use my multi-purpose glue. Did any of you make a purchase and get the Very Delightful Designer Series paper and Berry Blessing stamp set as your celebration product free. And with this, you could even do something like that. Maybe I like this better. And to do this, put some multi-purpose glue. Marion, you just got yours. Cindy, okay, awesome. Mary Lou, thank you for sharing. The sale ends February 28th. Great question. So we are halfway through. Naomi has it, awesome. We are halfway through the sale. This last day of the sale is February 28th. We have this month to go yet. But if you use the multi-purpose glue and just put some glue in the center of your shape, it's quite forgiving. It gives you time to play with it and move your shapes around a bit so that you can have even margins all the way around them. Oh, I love this. All right, I'm going to add this to the front of my card, just like that. And we'll add sentiment, and I think we should stamp and punch a strawberry as well. Looking to see which. I think I'll stamp hello there from the sweet strawberry sets. And let's also stamp and punch a strawberry so you can see how I did that. They even have strawberry blossoms to stamp. And you see those, the leaves and the different size blossoms? Those are lots of fun as well. And you could even use those flowers without the strawberries and berries too. Oh, Kathy, then this Facebook Live is for you. Now you know you can use both sides of that designer series paper. Get everything in place here. And my sentiment. Alrighty. So the first thing I'm going to do is, and I'm gonna just pull this piece of trash out. That was from my January post code. And I'm stamping with Poppy Parade. I'm gonna stamp off the solid part of the strawberry, or you can stamp on depending on how juicy your stamp set is or not. If you think it needs to be a little darker, you can always go back over it again, just like that. And then I also want to stamp the top of the strawberry, that leaf. I'm trying to think which way this is going in the punch. You could even choose to do two different reds. Maybe use Poppy Parade and then stamp the outline in real red, or Granny Apple Green and Old Olive. So you can do the tone on tone like I did, or you can stamp with different colors. I'm going to go ahead and trim this just a little bit. Does anybody see a nose? When I look at this upside down, I see a nose. You have to give it a good squeeze because it punches out several things at once. And then I'm going to turn my paper and now stamp the green leaves and stem for my strawberry. I'm just going to, I guess I didn't have that quite centered, but it will do. Still looks cute. Put that right on top of my strawberry using a glue dot. And I still need to stamp my sentiment, which I think I'll stamp this in Granny Apple Green. Let's do this. I'm going to do something different. Punch this with a circle. That's the 1.5 inch circle punch I used. I'm gonna pop this up with dimensionals first. Oops. There. Just trying to center it in this one postage stamp. And then I'm going to pop the strawberry up as well, but have it overlap that circle. Oh, I love it. What do you think? You think of Jimmy Durante? Oh, yes. I know what you mean, Cindy. So you saw the nose too. Jeannie's laughing at me. Yes. Okay, so I'm not just crazy. You saw a nose too. Isn't that funny? I've even seen people also make a Mr. Potato Head out of this. Do you remember Mr. Potato Head? And you put on the eyes and ears and nose and all that fun stuff. Isn't that funny? We just sometimes we see something in a different way than it's intended. So here is my strawberry card. Hello there. Wishing you the very best with the blueberries and a blackberry, I guess you'd say, card with a thank you greeting. So I love them all. What do you think? Would anybody like to win a card? It's Monday. Does anybody need a little extra cheering up simply because it's Monday? If you say yes, that will make me want to give away all 3 cards because I want you all to have an outstanding, fabulous week. Well, hi, Becky. I didn't see your name before. Oh, a Toy Story page? Yes. Yes, absolutely. The question is, what ribbon is on the blackberry card? Oh, the blackberry card. That is Old Olive, and it's a combo of, let me think, Old Olive and maybe terracotta tile. It's with the Ornate Garden suite in the annual catalog. I believe it's called Ornate Garden, but it's a 2-pack from the annual catalog. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining me. Yes, I will be choosing 3 winners. Gosh, I've got a lot of cards to send, but it's a Monday and I just want to lift people's spirits and spread some kindness. So I'm going to send 3 different people 1 of each of these cards. So I will draw names later today. I've got 2 business phone calls I need to make right after this, and then I will be announcing the winners. Oh, lots of people want to win cards. Well, that makes me feel good because that tells me that you love the cards. I hope I have inspired you. I hope you have found today's Facebook Live to be helpful and that you will start cutting up that beautiful designer series paper. Now you have 3 different ways that you can use your designer series paper and show off both sides of the paper. You don't have to choose just one side. Have a great Monday, and I hope to see you Wednesday evening on my business page, Stampin' Peace with Mary Nabe. If you have any questions or you need assistance with ordering or would like to schedule a virtual Stampin' Up! Party, a private class for you and your friends, or if you would like to join my wonderful and growing Mary Stampers team, please let me know. I'm always happy to help you.